Some days you just don't feel like showing up. No motivation, no energy, just that quiet feeling of resistance. And those days might actually matter more than the ones where you feel ready. So if you're listening to this and you don't feel like doing anything today, stay with me because this episode is for you. Hello and welcome to Alive Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I'm Dr. Wasim Ballani, and I believe that life isn't just about going through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey as a doctor and heart rhythm cardiologist, and then through my exercise journey in cycling and running, and later in personal development and growth journey, I've learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate your discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Have you ever had one of those days where you know you should do something, but you just don't feel like showing up, or you don't feel like doing anything? Not because anything major happened, not because you're completely burned out, you just don't have the internal push. I had one of those moments today. I sat down to record this week's episode, and I just didn't feel like it. Not only that, I didn't even have a clear idea of what I wanted to talk about. And I was sitting there for a bit, going back and forth in my head, thinking maybe I'll do it later. Maybe I'll come back to it when I feel more ready. But then something clicked. I thought this feeling right here, this I don't feel like showing up moment, this is exactly what I should be talking about. Because when I really thought about it, I realized this doesn't just happen with something like recording a podcast. It shows up in so many areas of our lives. Moments where we know what we need to do, but we just don't feel like doing it. And instead of pushing through, we start to drift a little. We delay, we disconnect. We tell ourselves we will show up later. And that's what I want to talk about today. That I don't feel like showing up mode, and what it actually does to us. And most importantly, what we can do about it. See, the thing is, that feeling is very normal. We all go through it. But at the same time, it can become a slippery slope if we're not careful. Because life doesn't suddenly become calm and perfect for us to show up. The stress doesn't disappear. The responsibilities don't go away. There will always be something pulling your energy. Work, family, expectations, distractions, and even internal noise. So if every time things feel a little heavy or a little off, we step back and say, I don't feel like it, then slowly, without even noticing, we start showing up less. We disconnect. We delay. We become someone who only acts when we feel good. And that's not a good place to be. So the real question becomes, what do you do in that moment? Do you check out? Or do you hold your ground and say, I'm going to show up anyway? Not perfectly, not at 100%, but I'm just going to show up. Even if it's just a small step. Even if it's not my best. I'm just not going to stay still. Because just the habit of showing up, especially on the days you don't feel like it, that's what builds consistency over time. And when you think about it, we all carry some level of responsibility. Whether you are a parent or part of a team, a doctor, a teacher, people count on you. And even beyond people, there's always a standard you have for yourself. Like for me talking about this podcast, there are people listening, people who might need to hear something today. And I can't just disappear because I don't feel inspired or I don't feel like it. I know I still need to show up even if the energy is not perfect. Because sometimes just showing up is the message. But at the same time, we have to be honest with ourselves. Why do we feel like this sometimes? Why do we feel drained, uninspired, unmotivated? Sometimes the reason that we are overwhelmed, overcommitting, maybe saying yes to too many things, maybe stretching ourselves too thin. And sometimes the reason is that our physical energy is drained. Maybe we're not sleeping well. Maybe we're not taking care of our body, not exercising, or we're just not giving ourselves space to reset. And sometimes the reason is even deeper than that. Maybe we feel disconnected from our purpose, from meaning, even spiritually. And when that connection weakens, everything starts to feel heavier. So part of this conversation is not just about pushing through no matter what. It's also about asking, how do I protect my energy so I don't keep ending up here? Maybe it means being more intentional with your time. Maybe not overcommitting and saying no when you need to. Maybe it's about creating a space in your day to breathe and reset. Or maybe it's about taking care of your physical and mental health and energy. And for me, it also means reconnecting on a deeper level, spiritually, taking a moment to reset, to reflect, to ask for strength from God when you feel low, because we're not meant to do this all alone. And I also wanted to say this clearly. This is not about ignoring your limits. It's not about pushing yourself into burnout. Sometimes you do need to step back, to rest, to recover, to reset. But there is a difference between intentional reset and checking out completely. Because one restores you, the other slowly disconnects you. And this is where it becomes powerful. Because those moments when you don't feel like showing up, those are the moments that shapes your identity. Because anyone can show up when they feel motivated. That's easy. But when you're tired, distracted, uninspired, and you still take one small step forward, that does something different. It builds self-trust. It builds resilience. It builds someone who can be relied on. And honestly, this episode is one of those moments for me. I initially didn't feel like recording. I didn't have a big idea. But I'm showing up. And as I started talking, things started to come together. And that's usually how it works. Because clarity doesn't always come before action. Sometimes it comes through action. And maybe this is exactly the message someone needed to hear today. So if you're in that place right now, where you don't feel like it, where you don't feel like showing up, where everything feels a little heavy, a little off, don't wait for motivation to show up, because it might not come anytime soon. And if you keep waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect moment, you'll keep delaying the things that actually matter in your life. Instead, make it simple on yourself. Don't think about doing everything. Just pick one thing, one small thing you know you should do. Maybe it's sending that message. Maybe it's getting up and moving your body for a few minutes. Maybe it's sitting down and doing just 5 minutes of focused work. Whatever it is, don't stay still. Because once you start moving, even a little, something shifts. Your mind clears, your energy starts to come back, and what felt heavy would start to feel manageable again. And at the same time, take a step back and ask yourself, are you taking care of your energy? Are you stretching yourself too thin? Are you saying yes to too many things? Because showing up is not just about pushing through. It's also about protecting yourself so you can keep showing up consistently. But right now, in this moment, don't overanalyze it. Just take the first step. And if you don't feel like showing up today, just show up anyway. And remember, every habit you build, every effort you make, it all adds up. So keep showing up, because the small steps you take today are shaping the person you become tomorrow.